and Hitatsumi Giant, which it's kind of why I love this format. The fact that these cards are meta-defining is pretty hilarious.
This is Janjo, and I'm building a deck, yeah!
Hey everyone, this is Jesse from the Janjo Zone, and in this video we will be talking about not one, but two OCG Volume 1 Yu-Gi-Oh! Decks, the first decks in Yu-Gi-Oh's history. So before we get started, if you like weekly Yu-Gi-Oh! Content, then this is the perfect place to be. So consider subscribing if you like that sort of stuff. And if you want to help support the Janjo Zone, definitely check out my merch or my Patreon in the link below. Also down there, I have a TCG player affiliate link if you're interested to buy some cards. So with that said, let's get started.
Want to support Janjo? Get your name in videos or request content for the channel? Then check out my Patreon for exclusive perks, content, and stretch goals.
So like I said with Volume 1, it is a very specific card set. There's not a ton of cards in it, so we have to work with what we got. And what we got is just nothing but vanilla beatdown, basically. We got equip cards, we have a couple of power cards. The only trap there is actually our Pitfall, the Trap Hole. Then we got Dark Hole as the spell variant. And then we got Fissure. So this is it in terms of our impactful stuff. So we have 9 forms of destruction. It's interesting to play around cards like Dark Hole, Fissure, and Trap Hole because you don't want to have a lot of monsters on the field for Dark Hole. We kind of want to have specific ones on the field, at least 2 for Fissure. So it's very weird how to play around that because you don't want them to get much advantage with Dark Hole. So it's a tricky game. It's a very simple format in a lot of ways. It's very kind of degenerate, sort of. With Trap Hole, you got to be careful with setting monsters, but you don't have to worry about too much with some of the weaker ones, which is why you do play a fairly considerable monster count, depending on your build. But the thing with this Volume 1 is that this is before you had Sacrifice Summoning, before you had Tribute Summoning. So you had 2 high-level monsters, which was Dark Magician and Gaia the Fierce Knight. And the levels weren't meaning that they had to be tributed, it just meant that that was a value for the card, a sort of rarity, you could say. I go more in depth in some of the rulings in my OCG format video if you haven't seen that yet. These are going to be like your power cards. Obviously, Dark Magician is the key one, but Gaia is still good, and every other monster is significantly weaker. There's definitely a tier. I would argue a 3 or 4 tier system, and tier 1 is definitely these 6 cards. Now moving on to the second tier, we had like the 1200, like the 1000 attack monsters, and then we got Mammoth Graveyard, Silver Fang, and Hitatsumi Giant, which it's kind of why I love this format in a way, even though you can't really do much with it. The fact that these cards are meta-defining is pretty hilarious. Obviously, Hitatsu is going to be like the main one because he does have the 1000 defense, but these are all susceptible to Trap Holes, so you got to be careful with that. When it comes to lower tiers, this is where we're gonna. This is more of a user preference. Darkrai, I think, is the best one though, because you have the 800 attack, which is the highest attack. There's not a 900 attacker one, but it's at 900 defense, which will protect you from a lot of the 800 attacker monsters. But then we're playing a couple other ones, Nemoriko, and then we're also playing Kagemusha. I never thought I'd play this card in a deck. One card that is in this form that I would love to play is Furious Seeking, but I had to cut him. He just doesn't make the cut in my deck, but I always like the art of him. I like the art of Kagemusha too, but Furious Seeking, just in this build, we're not gonna be running. Maybe if I make more fun builds, I might post it in my my Discord, which is linked below. So that's gonna be my monster count. It may be a little less than some other players have, but I think I have good reason for it. So we have Beast Fangs, and Beast Fangs I'm playing 3 of, and then we got Book of Secret Arts. I am playing 3 of, and of course the last one we're playing 3 of is Legendary Sword. Like a lot of equip cards in this. I think it's rather important because a lot of this format is kind of 1-for-1, so you don't want to lose a lot of monsters. But if you can put on pressure with the equip cards, I think that would give you enough advantage. I haven't played enough of the format to know one way or another, but I think I like the build in terms of having that as an option. With Book of Secret Arts, you have 5 targets. You have Dark Magician and Nemuriko. Legendary Sword, you have 5 targets with Gaia and Kagemusha. And with Beast Fangs, you actually have 6 targets with Silver Fang and Dark Gray. Just because Dark Gray is better. You could cut out, like 1 and 1 for some additional monsters if you wanted to run like a Furious Sea King or or Kurama, or if you wanted to run actually, if I had to run one other one, maybe Petite Angel I think would be a good choice. Because Petite Angel does have really low attack, but 900 defense isn't too bad. It can block Dark Grays, any of your tier 3 monsters, without the addition of an equipped spell card. So that would be the strategy you would want to go with. So this would be my first tech. The second one, actually...
Wait. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't, because that helps me upload more videos and know that you like content like this.
I don't remember the exact event. I think it was like Duel Monsters National or something like that. The card you can get there was Kanan, and Kanan changed so much in the game. Kanan was just slightly above Silver Fang and all your tier 2 monsters. 1400 attack and 1400 defense. So this card was busted back in the day. The only thing that could attack over it was a boosted tier 2 monster or one of your tier 1 monsters. So Kanan actually changed a lot in that regard, and we're actually have a different build for that in this video. Yeah, 2-for-1. So actually, I'm gonna be cutting out all of these except for Legendary Sword, mainly because we want that Legendary Sword. It boosts some of our strong monsters. Kanan can get over anything that's not tier 1. And it would help if we had a card that could also boost Gaia to attack over Dark Magician if Dark Magician ends up leaving our field. So the other cards we're running in its place, Petite Angels. I initially had like a more of a variant equip, but I feel like with a Kanan format, you do definitely need more monsters than equipped spells. We're actually going to change it a little bit. We're actually going to cut out the Nemuriko. And we're adding 3 Kurama, because with Nemuriko's good, but Kurama is just better with its stats. Since Nemuriko has 800 attack, 700 defense, Kurama has 800 attack, 800 defense. So if you have it in defense mode, for whatever reason, it's not going to be attacked over by a Dark Gray. So you definitely want the best monsters possible, stat-wise, in this build. And with the exception of Petite Angel, which is good for its defensive purposes, I think this is the build you probably want to go for. So yeah, let me know what you think about these decks. Are you interested in the OCG kind of stuff? I felt like matching the deck of the week, the Janjo deck builder, with the other video, the main discussion, history video, whatever, I post. And, I haven't really had a chance to talk about OCG decks, and this would be a good way to kind of talk about them more in detail than I did in my history video. So if you like this video, consider giving it a like and sharing it if you know anyone who would enjoy this kind of content. So until I see you all next time, have a wonderful day.
My grandpa's deck has no pathetic cards, Kaiba.